Hello and thanks for stopping by the Sister Cousins Lifestyle channel. My name is Sandy, and in today's video we're going to be talking about how to select quality home decor on a budget. So if you'd like to see where we're going to be going today and what we're going to be talking about, sit back, relax, and keep watching. I'm not a professional interior decorator. I just love home decor, and I just try to learn all that I can about home decor. And so I'm just sharing the things that have worked for me in decorating my home and the general tips that I follow when I go out looking for home decor. So one of the first things that I'm looking for is something that's well made. It has to be durable. I like to see items that are made out of real wood, no particle board. I look for items that are made of real marble, real stones, high quality fabrics, leather, pure real leather, that type of thing are the things that I look for. Now, understand that these items tend to be more on the expensive side, and so that's why I thrift, and that's why I go to the discount stores like Homegoods, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Ross, because inside of those budget-friendly stores, they have these items. You just have to know what you're looking for. The next thing I look for are items that are going to age well. So I try not to follow trends because those are the items that the next year they're outdated, that type of thing. So I try not to follow trends. I try to look for things that'll age well, that are just timeless, that will be relevant year over year after year, and people will have no idea, like when you purchase something. You can have a table that's made out of solid wood that you've had for 30 years, but if it's solid wood and really sturdy and everything, it's still going to look like new in 30 years if you take care of it. And also I look for items that are balanced and cohesive. So I'm looking for things that, will marry with the other colors and things that I have in my home. It has to be the right scale, that type of thing as well. This sofa, for example, this sofa is maybe 15 years old or so. And it's a neutral sofa. I'm sick of it. I admit I'm sick of it, but it's in good shape because I did not buy anything that was lower quality. I tried to buy something that would last, because no one can spend, or I can't spend. Let me just speak for myself here. I can't spend money on the sofa every year or whatever, so I deal with this sofa. Now, I've changed decor pieces around it and everything, but it still blends in because I've used a natural color, and so it blends in cohesively. So that's just one example. I mean, everybody do what you want to do in your home and what works for your budget. I'm just sharing my tips that have worked for me. I also look for things that are authentic and unique. That's why I like thrifting, because with thrifting and vintage shopping, you can always find things that, may be a little bit more expensive items, but because they are where they are, the prices are lower, but they're really good quality. And then the next thing that I look for are things that are functional and comfortable, because at the end of the day, I don't want my home to look like or be a place where you can't get comfortable. I want to be able to sit back on the sofa and relax. I want to be able to lay on the sofa and take a nap. I want to be able to use my cocktail table. If I'm sitting in my living room and I have my cup of water here, I want to be able to set it on my table with a coaster, of course. But, and if I want to eat, I eat in my living room. I eat in my bedroom. I eat all over my house. I know some people say, So my home has to be functional in that I need to be able to do that, because that's just how I live my life. It's whatever, works for you in your home. So now let's go on out to the store and apply some of these things that we've talked about, the things that I follow when I go out looking for quality home decor. We're going to be going to Ross and Homegoods. Let's go.
My first stop is going to be Homegoods, and this is one of my favorites. You just have to be careful in Homegoods that you don't go for the trendier items and look for the quality pieces. But believe me, I love natural stones, so I always gravitate to your marbles. And the first thing that I see is this marble tray here. Now, this is just a basic tray, but it would be beautiful on a vanity. It would be beautiful in your kitchen. It'll be beautiful on a table, wherever you want to put it. And it's only $30. Now, I recognize recognize that $30 is still a little on the pricey side, but compare it to the $99 that Pottery Barn is selling this same tray for. But more important than that, it's a material that is timeless. You can have it for years and years to come. It'll never wear out on you, and it'll always be in style because it is timeless. HomeGoods has a variety of decorative bowls, vases, and whatnot made out of a variety of different materials, but I tend to look for those materials that are very, very durable, sturdy, and well made. And while we're talking about marble, look at these candle holders. These are so heavy. I mean, I literally had a hard time picking these things up with the one hand. They are very, very heavy, very durable, and they are a steal at $7.99 each. That is a great, great deal. The weight of an item can be an indication of this authenticity, so that's very important to check. Here's another item that is timeless. It is a basket woven leather. Feels like calfskin leather. Very nice feel to it. It's 70 bucks for this pillow, which is expensive for a pillow, but it's made out of leather. And this is something that, in my opinion, a leather accent piece such as a pillow is timeless. As it ages, it just gets more character. This has that basket weave look to it, which is a technique that has been around for a very long time. I think it dates back to ancient times with the Egyptians and the Romans and whatnot. So, style wise, you talk about timeless. This is it. It's a nice piece, it's very neutral, and it will be beautiful on a bed, on a sofa. It will be nice in a office, has that nice rustic look. I really like this pillow. This bar cart caught my eye. I love having a nice bar cart, but this one in the black, it just looks so much more high end. It's $129. It was made in India. That's another thing that I try to familiarize myself with are items and where they come from and the quality of the items that come from those particular countries. Obviously, some country has a reputation of having items that come and they're just a little bit lesser in quality, so I do look for items that come from certain places. And India tends to be a place that makes some pretty good quality items. This one is 129 compared to some of the more expensive stores where they have the same look bar cart for a lot more money. This one here is very comparable at Pottery Barn. You can see the price of that one. And here's one at Perigold, quite a bit more in price. So this one at Home Goods, I feel is a good deal. It's very sturdy. I kind of try to shake it a little bit just to see, how sturdy it is because that's very important when you're looking for timeless pieces. Now here are some more candlesticks or candle holders here, and these look like they're solid wood. They have a little bit of weight on them. They're $12.99, not bad. But they do have a very good look to them. I could not see anything on there that indicated that it was a 100% wood, but I do look for that type of thing when I'm looking for timeless pieces. Now, obviously, these are very inexpensive pieces, and I don't necessarily purchase candle holders to be forever pieces, but it's just an example of what you look for. Now, this is a very heavy iron candle holder. Now, that is a nice piece compared to this one that is very, very shiny, and shiny gold just tends not to look as high a quality, and it was very, very lightweight. So that's another thing that I do is definitely check out the composition of the items that I'm purchasing, as well as the weight of it, as well as the price, of course. Home Goods is a great place to buy high quality candle holders, candlesticks, for any occasion, basically. So they have, the brass if you want, gold, silver, the black metals, all different types, and for every decor style. Now, I didn't come in here to buy anything today, but you know me. So I saw these long black matches, and I just had to get these. I've never seen these here before, so they did come home with me. Lighting is another thing that you can purchase from Home Goods and find some very nice quality pieces. This is a lamp here that I've never seen in here before. It's one that's smaller in scale. It's got brass trim on it, a brass base, and then looks like stone in the middle. This is a very expensive looking piece. It's very heavy as well. You can tell that it is well made, and it is only $40 for this, which I think is a great deal. Now, you could always switch out the lampshade if it's not something that you like, to create a more expensive look if that's your thing. But this one is really pretty to me. I like this a lot. Now, if you've been watching YouTube anytime over the last couple years, you've undoubtedly seen this lamp because a lot of influencers have this particular lamp. I have it as well, and I love it. It is an uttermost dupe, and this is at a lower price. It looks identical to the uttermost piece, and it is $79.99 here at HomeGoods. Now that is a reduction in price because last year they had gone up to 129. So that's interesting that they're back down in price. Here's another lamp that I think is really, really nice. Again, this has the brass on it, and then it has mixed with travertine, which always catches my eye. This one's $59.99, which I don't think is a bad price for this. Very nice, timeless piece. When looking for timeless pieces and you're looking for metals, always look for the brass or the brushed gold or brush polished nickel and things like that, because those pieces tend to look more higher end. And yeah, I'm just showing this here because I think it's a shame. But they have some of the lamps here locked up, and you have to call the people at the store, if you want to get a closer look at these items. But these are some higher end lamps with a higher price tag on them. But again, we can't get too close to those. So we'll just keep it moving. This floor lamp here caught my eye. I love the way that this is made. This is very mid-century modern looking. It's 129. It is a floor lamp, and I really like the way that that one looks. So it caught my eye. Also, it was something that I'd never seen in here before, but I like the way that that was made. Very unique. And again, I always look for unique pieces. When you go to your higher end designer showrooms, furniture showrooms, and that type of thing, they always display furniture with little side tables or drink tables or what have you. And Home Goods is a perfect place to purchase these items. They have a number of high quality ones with your brass, with your marble, very, very sturdy pieces at a discounted price from what you would pay at your higher end store. So if a drink table or something like that is something that you're looking for, it's a great place to come. This one here is $69.99. It was very, very heavy. It was made out of that very, very thick glass on the top, and then it had the brass stand, and then it was on a marble base. So very nicely done there. They have a number of tables that are not as high a quality, more on the trendier side or whatnot. This one's cute. I just like the way that this one looked. That was really nice. It was not solid wood, but it was a pretty, pretty piece. I like that a lot. When looking at these tables, it is very important to know your quality and what you're looking for, because some of these tables are really rickety, I call them, like they really shake or they're not balanced, they're not well made. This is a good example of that. This one was $49.99. It's a cute table, but it just really was not well made, and I could tell that just on sight. I also like to look at the artwork whenever I come into Home Goods and I'm looking for your higher quality art pieces. Today, I must say that they were pretty slim on their options for art pieces. I always look at the frames that are on the art pieces. I tend not to care for the ones that have the wooden frames as much as I do other frames. So that's like the number one thing that I look for, but it's just a matter of preference, if that's something that you like or it matches with your decor style. Definitely is a good place to find artwork at a reasonable price, oversized art pieces, particularly because those can really, really cost up into some money. Crystal and nice glasses are another thing that I look for when looking for quality items. This is a beautiful carafe. Here is $34.99. Would be beautiful on a bar cart. And you can also use these types of carafes for different items in your home as well. I've seen them in bathrooms for mouthwash. I've seen them as your oil and vinegar bottles in your kitchen. It's just whatever you want to use them for. I guess you could probably use them in your laundry room for laundry soap too. Why not, right? But I always like to come over here and look for beautiful stemware and things like that to add to my collection. Now, it would not be a video if I didn't talk about greenery. Greenery is something that you are going to see in most high end homes. So, whenever you go to a high end showroom or a place like that, you will always typically see some type of greenery in the home. And even if you can't grow like live flowers, you don't have the conditions for it or don't have time to deal with them or whatever, faux florals is a perfect way to kind of elevate your home, elevate your style. It just adds life to a space. And this is a really, really good looking fiddle leaf fig. This one looks very, very lifelike. Now, some of them don't look as lifelike, like this olive tree, to me, in my opinion, is not a good quality. This here is not of good quality. It's 59.99, but some of them look really real and they feel really good too. So, in looking for those, I would definitely, give them the touch test to make sure that they look and feel the way that you want them.
So before we go into Ross, I just wanted to stop on and say this. So one of the things that I also do to kind of increase my knowledge of materials, quality, that type of thing, is I like to go to the high-end stores. I like to shop for my inspiration. I like to learn about these things so that then when I go to the discount stores or when I go to the thrift stores or the vintage stores, I have an idea of quality. I also have an idea of the look that I want. I feel like I would not be able to effectively curate the type of home that I want if I don't, step out of my comfort zone. If I just went to Ross and Homegoods and TJ Maxx all the time, then that's all, that I would know. So I like to go into the Restoration Hardware, RH as they are called now. I like to go into Ballard Designs. I like to go to Our House. All of the stores that I can't afford, I still go in there and shop for inspiration because it's free.
So I go into Ross. I have my inspiration already. I know the look that I'm trying to achieve in my home. And I go in and I look for those pieces that match the bill. And I look at them. I look for the composition again of the materials, things like that. These are some candle holders that I actually already own. They were $11.99 here at Ross, but they are 100% travertine marble, very, very heavy, very nice quality if that's what you like. Again, it's all about your preference. So, you have to make it work for you. But this is something that I like, and these are a great deal. Ross tends to be a little bit more budget friendly, but they also have more of a compromise in quality typically, but not always. So the key is to know your quality. So when you come in, you're picking the best pieces that you can get, and that's where you really get your bang for your buck. Here's a lantern here. It reminded me of a lantern that I've seen at Birch Lane. These are nice lanterns here. I like the glass globe on there, and the design of it is really nice. I wish that it was more in a brass color metal, but yeah, this is a good deal here. 39.99 compared to 100 and something at Birch Lane. Now, I was real bad today. I did not come in here with the intentions of purchasing anything, but when I saw this piece, it had to come home with me. Now, this is a very nice little abstract piece, which gets me every time. It has the metal piece on the top and the marble base. Very, very heavy. And best of all, it was $12.99. Abstract table decor is certainly very, very timeless. This is made out of nice materials, a very, very interesting piece. And styled correctly, this could look like a very, very high end piece. Another tip that I use when I'm decorating my home is I stay true to my style. So I have a distinct style. I think I have a tendency to, I say that I like modern decor, which I do. That's my favorite, but I definitely am leaning more on the eclectic side because I just kind of have an appreciation for a lot of different decor styles. But as I'm curating my home, I'm definitely staying true to what I love. I am not letting price guide me. I am not letting, and by that I mean, like, if I see something and it's very, very affordable, I'm not going to get it just because it's affordable. I'm definitely sticking to the look that I'm trying to create in my home, because another tip is that when you're curating a home, it's very, very, very important that it's curated and not cluttered. I have no appreciation for cluttered decor styles. That's something that I could not function in that. I do have an appreciation for a true decorator that is a maximalist, that knows how to marry colors and textures and all of those things without it looking cluttered. I don't have that skill set. So for me, adding more and more and more tends to look more on the cluttered side. So I definitely shy away from that. These vases here are gorgeous. Now, I don't tend to decorate with blue, but these are really, really pretty. They're very, very high end looking. I liked this bottle as well. I love that amber glass color. Very, very nice pieces here. Very nice for little accent pieces, and relatively affordable at $14.99 for this piece. Now, Ross also has a number of little side tables as well. This one was a very good looking table. Quality wise, they're not as good as the quality that I saw over at Homegoods, but this particular one wasn't too bad. But it was a great price at $34.99. But they had a number of ones to choose from. But I would really give this the test to kind of, check its stability and everything if looking for a table like this. But this is made of marble, and it's more of a polished type of gold there. So it's got a good look to it. And it definitely does look high end, opposed to this one, which just looks a little bit less, of high quality. I mean, the quality is not as good on this one, or does not appear to be. Yeah, and it was not as sturdy, although it did have, a nice stone top on it and everything. Now, this one was pretty decent quality. I like the wood on here. It's not real wood, of course, but it does have a good look to this table. Russ has been having quite a bit of nice table decor. These are some marble coasters here that are nicely priced here for a set of four for $6.99. Not bad at all. They also had a number of wooden pieces that are nice, like that are like cheese boards, cutting boards, that type of thing. This one I thought was really different with the little brass feet on it. This one is food safe. That's something that you do have to check for when purchasing items like this, is to make sure that they are safe to come in contact with your food. But yeah, they did have a number of things that I thought were really, really nice little pieces for your kitchen. Now, much like Home Goods, their art department here did not have very many nice things today. I don't know what's going on, but they didn't have a lot to choose from today. But Ross typically is a good place to stop in and check out their art, because they will surprise you from time to time. They have some beautiful art pieces with beautiful frames that I like to look for when I come in, and they are absolutely great prices when you can find something that you like.
All right, so now I'm going to share what I picked up. I told you that I did pick this piece up. Like I said, it was just too good to pass up. I just love the look of this. I have something that I'm going to be decorating, and I will be using this, so coming very soon for this. But this is a nice looking piece with this marble vase. Very, very nice. I also picked up a couple more things, small things, but I'll show you.
I saw this hand soap in Home Goods and it caught my eye, and I just had to have it. I am a sucker for some beautiful packaging. Normally I toggle between the refillable soap dishes or whatever, but this one caught my eye and I thought I'd give it a try. Now, normally I tend to go for those that have aloe in them or some type of skin softening properties, but this time I just kind of took a chance at this. It was $7.99, a little bit more on the pricier side, but I thought I'd give it a try. So I picked that up. And of course, I picked up these match sticks that I told you, the tall match sticks. And I typically use these like for my grill or my fire pit or something like that. But just for the purposes of this video, we're going to show me lighting my candle with it. Normally I would use a lighter for this, but yeah, those are the things that I bought. I didn't spend a lot of money today, which is a good thing. Yay.
Well, thanks so much for stopping by and spending time with me today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Again, I'm not a professional. I'm just sharing what works for me. So you take this information and do with it what you will or what works for you. And I hope that you have fun decorating and curating your home in your own special way. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you all over here on my next one. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share the video out. Bye-bye.